Welcome to Coffee Talk Marketing with Dominic Biggers and me, Chris Chesar. Each episode will be talking about all things digital marketing, the latest trends, with
Dominic,
tips on how
it's
to
time for supper.
I'm filming here.
Well, it's chowder. It's your favorite.
I'll be there in a minute.
The latest trends with tips on how to be a successful online marketer and all the tools, apps, and resources that can help you grow your business. Today, our special guest will be sharing some amazing tips on how to brand your business. So let's get to it. How you doing today, Dominic?
I'm doing fantastic, and I'm really excited about our guest today. I've been looking forward to having him on the show for quite some time. And if you, our viewers, have any questions for Chris or I or our guests, please put it in the comments below. We always check our comments.
Okay, Dominic, let's introduce our guest. Today, we are so privileged to welcome the CEO of Live Your Dream Incorporated, Chris Sparta. Welcome, Chris.
Thank you, guys. It's an honor to be on your show. I've been wanting to be on this for a while, so happy to be there.
So Chris, should we call you Sparta Chris? Can you tell us a little about your business, Live Your Dream?
Sure. You can call me Sparta Chris. That's what I go by. But Live Your Dream, I started this company back in 2015, where we started originally, it was just myself, where we started as a web designing company. So trying to make a side gig and everything. Then doing a lot of also digital marketing with YouTube, started expanding. So now my company, we oversee in terms of not only the web agency, but we also have a travel agency as well and a mentoring coaching agency as well. So slowly expanding, basically.
That's awesome. That's awesome, Sparta Chris. So let's get right into this, because a lot of people are always talking about what to do with branding. So what important tips can you give our viewers on branding their business, especially if they're just starting out?
So especially if you're starting out, obviously in terms of first of all, let's talk about the financial aspect. You may not have enough money to hire a branding company, just like all the big companies are doing. So if you're starting from scratch, one thing I did when I just started myself is, number one, you want to know, are you going to brand yourself or are you going to brand your company? Okay, so you have to make that distinction in terms of stick to with just one. Okay, so where for me, everybody in my community in West Palm Beach, Florida knows, myself, associate myself with my business, LYD. Okay, Live Your Dream Inc. Okay, so that's why for me, I decided to brand my business. So starting in the beginning, like I said, you may not have enough money. So what I started doing is going on Fiverr. Getting someone for just like $5 to come up with a logo. Okay, so they came up with about 24 logos for me to choose which one was the best one. Talking about in terms of the colors, so because those are very important, that's going to stick with you throughout your entire branding. Okay, so starting from with Fiverr having the logo, then knowing in terms of where to place it. Are you going to be branding yourself online or in terms of digital, or are you going to brand yourself locally? Okay, so those are the two things also you want to look at. So for me, when I started locally first and then ventured myself online, because again, since I was doing the website agency, getting myself to the clients out there locally first, then starting outside. So to recap, you definitely want to know one thing. Are you branding yourself or are you branding your company? Then if you're starting fresh where you don't have the funds, outsource. Fiverr is a great place to go and get some clients and then basically work your way up from there.
That's awesome, Chris.
So why is brand...
Oh, I'm sorry to cut you off, Dominic, but it is, I am sitting at the desk, so.
This is Sparta!
Dominic, I know you have a couple questions for Sparta Chris.
So why is branding so important?
having a brand, doesn't matter if it's individual or your business, is very important because that's what your clients associate your business with or yourself with. Okay. For example, Chris right here, Chris as well right here. Okay. So having the brand Sparta for the distinction, okay, where everywhere, if online, I'm known as Sparta Chris. So they know, okay, Sparta Chris is LYD. You see, so having a brand associate yourself and actually makes you, how can I put this? Recognize, okay, for who you are and what you stand for, basically. Okay, so that's why it's very important to, if you are going to have a business, if you are going to be an entrepreneur, a digital marketer, any of those type, you want to have your brand. Okay, even local businesses, a salon, a barber shop, a masseuse, okay, they all have their brand because that's what they go by, either by themselves or the business they represent. So that's why it's important to have a brand.
Sparta Chris, what's the most important element when you are branding your business?
I would say the most important one is having a goal and knowing where you want to take your business to, because your brand has to match that. Okay. So if you are, for example, in e-commerce, so in terms of, a store and everything like that. So knowing that, okay, you're going to be selling a lot of items may not be associated with your brand, but your brand is the store, you see? So you want to make sure that basically, having your goal, how far you want to take your store, it evolves around the brand itself. Okay, so that's why I've done a lot of research online, and I suggest anybody that's looking into wanting to brand themselves, Google it. Okay, you have tons of videos on YouTube about the foundation of branding. What to look for. There are so many gurus out there, and I do not consider myself a guru in branding, but there are so many gurus out there that are basically teaching you step by step the foundation of branding and everything, so you do it the right way.
All right, guys, we'll be back with more of Sparta Chris right after this word from our sponsors. This portion of our program is sponsored by Give Yourself That Extra Glow with Chuck's Chunky Spring Water and Tommy's Toothbrush. It never wears out because it already is.
Wow, that was awkward.
Sparta Chris, are there do's and don'ts to branding?
Most definitely, yes. I'll start with the don'ts. Okay, I've seen it so many times. On social media, I'm looking at different groups and people, entrepreneurs advertising their businesses and stuff, and I click, and where I I look at their branding style. So, for example, you'll see people one day they are XYZ Inc. 2 months later, they're ABC Inc. Okay, so there's no brand recognition and everything like that. That's why it's very important you pick one, you do your research first, who you are, where you want your company to go, and you stick with it. Okay, so that's number one don't. Okay, then you also have where a lot of times people make change the color patterns of their brand. Okay, so you see, for example, their logo is a certain color pattern. Then you go on their website and it's a totally different color pattern. Okay, you again, the most thing you want to do is associate your brand with people. Okay, so people can see, oh yeah, that's Sparta Chris, that's LYD, Live Your Dream Incorporated. You see what I'm saying? So you want to make sure that you don't change your colors. Everything stays the same. Doesn't matter if it's your business card, commercials. You work with if you're working with a commercial company, you tell them they always ask you what are your colors, what are your brands, and everything like that. They even ask you your color palettes, for example. So those are the main ones in terms of don'ts. The do's, like I said before, in terms of knowing, okay, if you're branding yourself or if you're branding your company, okay, that's very important. And also in terms of, sticking to your business plan, sticking to your goals in terms of your business. Don't keep changing it. Don't changing in terms of 2 years. Like I said, since 2015, I've been LYD, okay? And we're in 2020 now, okay? So you just stick with it, but what you can do is build on it, just like I did, with Live Your Dream Inc. At first it was Live Your Dream LLC. Then after that, when I started adding the travel agency, like different layers, okay, then I became Live Your Dream Inc. Okay, so like that in terms of adding different. So, and I can keep on adding so many other branches is still under Live Your Dream Inc. So, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. That's awesome, Sparta Chris. Let me ask you this. We got the do's and don'ts. We got the most important elements you answered. How should someone actually start their branding?
It's all about sitting down and wanting to know, what do you want? What type of brand do you want? Okay. Is it, especially if they have no experience in branding, then going to, like I said, Fiverr and outsourcing it so you can have different examples, then you can see which one is more appealing to you. Okay. I've gone through about 24 different logos. Okay. 24 different logos. First, I knew what I wanted my company to be called in terms of Live Your Dream with the acronym LYD. Okay. But then in terms of the actual face of the company, I'll say, okay, it's, trial and error 24 times, okay, and ended up finally falling for this because I love horses with the crown, you see, in terms of, and then with the colors, it works perfectly nice, you see. So again, that's why, So I would say for someone to get started, number one, obviously coming up with the name of your company. Are you going to brand yourself or brand your company? Then number two, trial and error. Keep trying to see which logo appeals you more. You may have a friend who's a designer or cartoonist, and you tell them your idea. Then you can upload it on Fiverr for the actual good professional designer to see what to work with, and they can give you different examples, for example. So that's where you would start.
That's great. Dominic, do you have any follow-up questions on that, or?
No follow-up questions, but speaking of branding, I just wanted to let you know that because you're a guest on our show, we are going to send you an official Coffee Talk marketing mug with our branding all over it.
I have to say, guys, talking about branding, Coffee Talk marketing, that's awesome. Okay, that's awesome, especially with the logo and you both have the coffee mugs and everything like that. That's basic branding right there. With the t-shirt, exactly, you see? So again, every time people will see this logo, they will associate that logo with the both of you. And that's what basically the basic foundation of brand, okay, is brand recognition. So good job, guys.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sparta Chris, for coming on Coffee Talk Marketing with us. And you gave us a lot of great information, right, Dominic? Are you over here?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. What, no smack?
I'm glad I was able to join the show, guys. It's been awesome. It's been wonderful. I'm a big fan and supporter and everything, and I look forward to seeing your guys next show.
Thanks so much, Sparta Chris. Hey, guys, check in the description. We'll have some links for you down there to check out Chris Sparta and his amazing company. Give it to me, Chris.
Live Your Dream Incorporated, coming to you.
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching our show. Please be sure to subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, and we'll see you next time on Coffee Talk Marketing. Bye, everybody.